All right, everybody, what's going on? It's JP Morgan. We're back with another video. I have not uploaded in about a week or so. I've been slacking on the videos. But in the meantime, a lot has happened in the crypto space and in the stock market. So what we're going to do is start with Bitcoin, then we're going to go to VeChain, and then we're going to go to obviously Churchill. We had some nice movement within the three of them today, specifically between VeChain and Churchill CCIV. So we're going to start with Bitcoin here. So first off, since the last time we made a video, we have created new all-time highs. Specifically today, we are just barely missing 49,000. So if you're trading Bitcoin, obviously these are some levels to look at. Where are we bouncing right now? So right now we're seeing it's building a bit of support off of the 47.8 region. I was in some buys from down here, 47, and I was buying at 44 yesterday. I closed my buys a bit early, but that is completely okay. I was selling also yesterday around here at the top of 48, and I closed around $47,000. So right now we are holding pretty well at 47.9, but I would not be surprised if Bitcoin came back and bounced off of 47. I actually would be expecting that, considering that this candle hasn't gotten tapped yet. It doesn't necessarily have to, but it looks like it could if we drop below 47.1 or 47.9, excuse me. And so off the 2-hour time frame, that's where we're looking at. But where did Bitcoin initially move up from? Well, we had covered the 41,000 region, having to get broken in order to see basically a moonshot, because there was no resistance past 41.7, 41,000 in general. And that is exactly what happened here. That is a big liquidity void. And so right now, Bitcoin has basically tested this candle, came back down, bearish candle, continuation move to the upside. We could see a bit of an M formation if any of you pattern traders trade that. We could see that, but these are the regions I'm looking at right now in terms of retracement before we continue higher. Obviously, we're going to continue taking it in increments of $5,000 each. And so right now, considering Bitcoin is holding well at 47.8, if that breaks 47.1, and then if that breaks 45.3, then I'll be looking to buy specifically here. I do want to enter some buys here at 45.3, 45.4 just to be safe. We could see some upside there if we do pull back that low. In the event we break this support, then we could see the 45.4 region get tapped. Doesn't necessarily have to, but it can. And so we'll just keep an eye on that for the meantime. But those are some regions to keep an eye on for Bitcoin. Now, VeChain, also some new all-time highs. We've been playing off of these same levels that we shot from previous all-time highs. It was acting as support this entire week. For the last 7 days has been acting as support. And then finally we broke above 2, broke above 3, and what happened? So if you look closer on the 4-hour, you'll see exactly the candle it bounced off of. Bullish candle, bearish downside move, retest the support, but that was a significant downside move. And here we got the retest for that. So if you had missed an entry there, I know some people who bought back in at 3 cents because of this candle that had to get retested, which it did, and continuation to the upside. Short term, if we drop down to the 1-hour time frame, if you are not in VeChain, obviously we could see some retracements. I wouldn't expect it, but we can see that. I'll be looking very, very closely at the just under 4 cents. So 0.038 is where I'll be looking for reentry. If that breaks, obviously we have 0.031 9, and then so on and so forth, the levels that we have had marked up. But right now we have seen some very strong moves. Obviously, volume speaks volume, volume precedes price. So we had seen some very strong volume here before. We had just barely missed 5 cents. And so we knew that preceded price, and some more volume here, which was the move upside to just about 5 cents, 0.048. And so that's where we're at right now. Shorter term, 0.042, 0.038 is where I'm looking as our current support levels. But 0.042 isn't looking so strong given the doji here. So we could very well come back to 0.038. And I honestly would not be surprised if we came back to 3 cents. So just be aware of that. We could see some moves there. So that's that for Bitcoin and VeChain. Now let's go over to CCIV. CCIV closed at $31.50. But what's interesting about CCIV is after hours, the Bloomberg terminal had updated from a negotiation proposal to now shareholders, early investors of Lucid, offering their stake for purchase by Churchill. And so that's important because obviously that confirms that there is multiple propositions in play, and there's a lot of potential for a position in either one. And after hours, if we look up CCIV, if we go to CCIV, we see after hours, we had reached a 52-week high of $37. This is after hours, so lower volume doesn't necessarily mean that that's where we're going to open tomorrow, but very strong after hours close at $35.55. So that is very important to take note of. I'll go back to the chart. CCIV, we have been playing on the same support that we had labeled before. We had labeled the $31.30 region as extremely important. We had no candle closures below that. Aside from this one, obviously, where we tested 27, but we spiked back up. That was mentioned in a previous video, but otherwise $31.30 has held very well. All these wicks, stop loss raids. That's what it seems to be. Those are manipulative days. It's like clockwork. It happens every single week. Every few days, actually, it happens, and it's like clockwork. We open, market opens, we get some nice volume, spikes up a little bit, then tanks, and then we see some wicks to the downside, triggering stops and then recovering. So I would not be surprised to see CCIV continue upward. Obviously, like we mentioned, after hours closed at $35.50. 55 cents, and we reached a high of $37. If that volume continues, like we mentioned in a previous video, we're taking CCIV in increments of 5. And so that is going to be extremely important to take note of. I don't think we're going to drop below $30 again. I don't see that being the case. If anything, we should see some news very soon, given tomorrow, February 12th, is the 31st day since the proposal was basically initiated and announced on Bloomberg Terminal. I'm still holding my February 19th calls, $35 calls. As a lot of people on the board would say, is diamond hands, because there's been a lot of volatility with those calls. Anybody who has February calls knows exactly what I'm talking about. And so given that move, obviously we're still holding. There's no reason to believe that there won't be an announcement sometime soon. It's a risk that anybody who got into CCIV was willing to take. You knew the risk, and that's what we're going with. So I'm sticking to the trade plan, and that is exactly what we are going for. But with all that being said, that's the end of the video. CCIV, strong buy in my opinion. VeChain, strong buy. Bitcoin, strong buy. And I have some OTC plays that I'll be going over in the next video. I had jumped into a few more OTC positions this past week, about 4 more. And so I'll be making a video on that in the next couple of days, maybe tomorrow night or Saturday. So with that being said, catch you guys later, and thank you for checking out the video.